Y'all, sorry, I had some serious technical difficulty. I still had 2 videos from yesterday, and I guess my phone's memory was done. I heard a beep, and it had stopped recording. So, I think I showed where we have this, and then I cut it, and then I realized that it's too plain, and I need a little something on the top and bottom, so I'm going to pull in some of this plaid. So, I know it says back cover, I have to print another one, but I need some of this plaid in here. So let's just trim this up real quick, and then I guess I'm going to need to cut the bottom of the tree off so I can have a little bit of top and bottoms here, and then I guess I want to cut it on here. So let me see if I can not lose my spot. All right, and let me see. We have our fa la 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 up top. And then this is going to be our little pocket. And I guess we'll make it a double pocket. Okay, so let me go ahead and ink around the top. You know, I don't know why. Sometimes my glue placement works just fine sometimes, and sometimes it's just in my way. Well, this is an in my way day. So, anyway. I know, after all that, I got off of my story and all kinds of good stuff. So, I think I was telling y'all that my neighbor got this really nice electric fireplace thing. I mean, we've looked for years because, you know, we do miss our fireplace. Okay, we do miss our fireplace in Houston, even though, you know, it never really got cold enough to actually have a fire going, because, I mean, it's Houston, y'all. So we would turn our air conditioner down just so we could burn a fire, because, I mean, it got so hot in the house, and, I mean, you were just sweating, but we wanted, you know, you got a fireplace, by gosh, you want to use it. So, we used to do that there. So, but we have looked, and, you know, John could never find anything that had the correct, I don't know, input-output ratio, square foot, I don't know, something that he's, you know, been looking at and everything. But then our neighbor got a new one, because they've gone through a bunch of them, because she tried the wood pellet one. Well, she didn't like the smell of it, because I guess it gives off this fume, and it would make her sick. So then she got this other one. Well, it didn't really do anything. Well, then last year they bought this one from, I guess this, since we're going to ink it anyway, it looks like a misprint, because it looked like it was part of the page from behind, but it's not. But anyway, so they got this fireplace from, well, who was those? The Drew Brothers, which is something at Lowe's or whatever, that they carry a line of home decor stuff, and it's really pretty. I mean, because I've been real picky for the last 5 years, because, you know, John's like, oh, well, this one will do. I'm like, nope, don't like that, because I just have a certain one in my head, and you know, I guess like a certain color, or just one that, anyway. So we found one, I don't know, oh, when we were in Kentucky, when we were getting the hay, when we had stopped to go to the bathroom, I was like, because I always go look at Christmas Land, because, I mean, you know, it's like, hello, neon lights flashing, you know, Beetlejuice, and, so, you know, I have to go walk through their little Christmas Land with all their lights and ooh and ah, and then, you know, we make fun of some of the stuff that they have, and just can't believe people pay the price, you know, for some of those things that's there. It's like, oh my gosh, it's so outrageous. But anyway, they had this fireplace there, and I was like, I'm like, well, John, this one's kind of pretty. You know, I kind of like it. It has, you know, I wanted some with doors and kind of country-ish, but yet, I don't know what you call it, craftsman type thing. But it has doors with windows and the wood panes and anyway. And then it has drawers so you can put, because John has this thing about remotes. I swear to God, we have 15 of them. And I don't even know what they all, I use one. I don't know what all the other ones are used for, but sometimes he goes in there and pulls out these remotes, and I don't know. One does not need that many remotes with one TV, but apparently you do. So, you know, it's like $799. And I was like, oh man, John, I said, well, you know, you always say that, why don't we just do like a, you know, last year we were supposed to do a Christmas present for us, like a combined thing for the house. And I said, why don't we just do that this year? And I says, no other things, because like, you know, well, last year I asked for that color printer. So that's what I wanted. And so, you know, that's what I got. And we were supposed to do a household thing, which we didn't do. And then plus last year was crappy Christmas time. Anyway, so I know it's not supposed to be about gifts or anything, but, and that's why I really didn't want to ask for anything, because, you know, I'm like, we really don't need to do anything big, and I just would like to have, that's what I asked for, which I got in October, and I had figured I had already got my ho-ho stuff, and I was, you know, done with it. So this year I had told him, well, I says, you know, why don't we do that? I said, unless there's something that you want. But, I mean, neither one of us need anything, and every time something breaks, it's some technical crap. So, I know I got to cut my little hole in here, I got to measure it. So he's like, he texted me today, he says, well, the fireplace came in. I'm like, wait a minute, we didn't talk about it. And I said, I didn't think that, you know, we were going to do it and he's like, no, I decided that I think we just need to go ahead and do it, and it'd be really pretty. He said, I'd really like to know that you're sitting, oh, I might cry now, that you're sitting in front of, you know, because, you know, that's where I sit, you know, in our living room and everything, watching TV and snuggled up to a fire. And so it just now kind of hit me how he said it. But anyway, so I'm not going there. Oh, monkey butt. So we're getting this little fireplace thing, because I mean, it was either that or add on to our house so we could have a stinking fireplace. And I guess this is a lot cheaper than that, even though, you know, there's still some stuff that needs to be done. But I'll take that fireplace, and I hope we get some snow now so I can sit there with that lifelike fire crackling or whatever, and I'm sure all the little dogs will be laying in front of it, because we have 3 of them that snuggle around this little heater that we have down here. And, you know, I'm sure it was actually a present for them. but yeah, so we're finally gonna get it, but I don't know what money tree he found, y'all, but He definitely has bought some stuff, and I just... So anyway, did you know? I was going to tell you about his doctor stuff, but no, Ari, no, maybe tomorrow. So, but, you know, then I watch, you know, Rhonda Winstead, you know, Rhonda with an H, and her doctor's doing a back-to-back PET scan, and I'm like, man, why can't our doctor do it? I mean, I am begging for one. It's been over 6 months, and I just don't understand why they can't generate a letter that says they want it. Well, I know why, because he's in that trial, and they don't want anything to show negative on the trial, because if it shows negative on the trial, then she can't do the trial, which I don't appreciate, because, you know, you should be thinking about your patient first and not the stupid trial brownie points. But I'm not going down that road again, because it just infuriates me. So I think, I told John, because, our next appointment is the 22nd, and he goes and gets another CT scan on the stinking 21st. Well, which, I want to get a PET scan beforehand. I don't want to have to go. I know this is so selfish, but, it's like every Thanksgiving and Christmas is like our most stressful time of the year, because that's when we're always doing the PET scan thing or something. And I'd rather just do the PET scan now so I don't have to think about it or worry about what if and what's there from Thanksgiving to Christmas. I don't know. Oh, I just can't rationalize it in my little brain. But I just wish that they would do one so we can see what the heck. I mean, because I guess we got long enough time. Anyway, because they claim the one in the middle. I call it the one in the intersection of his lungs, that's the one that they couldn't do anything on, because where it's located, they just could never operate or do anything. And, he had a chunk of lung taken out in April, because the cancer had gotten too big there, and they went ahead and removed a 3-inch section there. Well, when they were there, when he had his PET scan in April, they must have did it towards the end of April, because he had his PET scan in April, on April 12th, now I'm remembering. The doctor, do I want darker or lighter? I think I went lighter on top. When the doctor had went in there to do the biopsies that they had to do, because we had to do two different biopsies from two different doctors because of where the one was located that they really wanted. I've lost my hole puncher. Okay, where they really wanted to see. We had to have two procedures done. Yeah, twice the money of everything, and two different doctors. And to me, he's on the table already getting this done. Why can't you just and the doctors are in the same hospital in the same building. So anyway, but so we did that. Well, he had his how did he have first? He had his biopsies done first, and then they he did his little lung dissection thing. There's a word, I don't know what it's called. And then, but by the time, because then we had to wait 2 weeks for that to heal in order for him to go back in and do the other biopsy from the different location, because the one doctor wasn't skilled enough to do it, and they needed a different lung specialist, which I still don't understand to today. But I mean, within 3 weeks, I call them babies. Unwanted babies. I know it's wrong, but that's what I call them, because they're having babies in there, and I don't appreciate it. And so, but within the 3-week time frame, there was a new tumor that had already grown that wasn't even on the PET scan. And so the doctor said he went ahead and took a biopsy of it because he could see it had already started growing. Well, that's why I want another PET scan done, because if those things were in there having fun back then, they're in there having fun right now. And I don't understand. But, and so what? If it's one of those things, well, it's just a waste of money or whatever. I don't care. We paid our insurance, and let's just do this. But they claim the big one, that it's not showing on the scan. Well, I say it's because it's gone somewhere else, which technically it kind of has. And then she made the mistake to write on the little report that she gives us from the CT scan that, so this is a double pocket that we're going to put in here now, that, let's see, less than 20%, wait, not greater than 20%, so disease still, not acceptable, but within range or something. And so when I saw that, when she gave that to me, I'm like, wait a minute. Wait. And she's, oh, well, we're not worried about those two that have grown. One has grown 13%, one's grown 18%. Well, I'm sorry, it's grown in 7 weeks, so I'm freaking out because it's grown. And she's like, well, since it hasn't grown more than 20%, we're not going to worry about it. Well, hello, if it's grown 13 and 18% since the last scan 7 weeks ago, I think we need to worry about it. So, it's hard when you go in there, when you get the doctors who are like, well, we're not going to worry about this right now because it hasn't grown enough. Well, but it's grown is my whole complaint is that they have grown. They're not grown. They grew. And so, they're going to keep an eye on it. And then his because, they do everything not to answer questions for you. I'm not into these Tennessee oncology people. And my girlfriend's dad, they've had total opposite with their doctors at Walter D. Anderson in Houston, but we just live too far to play that game. Okay, so we're going to do the exact same thing on the back. Well, yes, with this one. Even though it's the same tree, so now I'm kind of wondering, do I want the exact same thing? But, I don't know. Okay, so, I know, now I'm thinking I don't want that one on there. Because it's too much the same, but you're still flipping the page. Okay, so I'm just going to, we might have to stop crafting. Darn it. Because I don't want the same thing, but it is cute. So I don't know, we might have to use that on something else. Because I've just talked myself out of it. So, I'm sorry, it's grown. That's all that I care about, and that's all that, stresses me out on it. And so I guess I can do this without messing up the back. So we're gonna go ahead and put this on the back page so I don't mess it up. So then, his last, because he goes every other week for lab work for the trial thing now, since it didn't cause him to have diabetes. Because that was part of the side effect of this drug was diabetes, blindness, which he has really gotten bad with his vision. So I really do think that that's causing some problems, but he doesn't want to admit it. But anyway, that's another story. So, oops, still need to cut a little bit. So his little, last time, they told him, that we need to watch your liver because the numbers have gone up. And I'm like, well, what's the number? He's like, oh, they didn't tell me. They just said they had to watch it. Well, this time when they gave us the little report, I looked at it. Because, John doesn't look at it, when he goes in there. And he doesn't ask for it either. He just listens to what they say and goes on about his merry old way when they pat him on the head and say, good boy, which I don't play that game. I want answers and I want them. That's what you're getting paid for. You're supposed to be here for us, not for you. But anyway, so we get this report, and all three on the liver thing says hi. And I asked the doctor, I said, well, what exactly does this mean? She goes, oh, well, we'll get to that. We're talking about these other things. Well, we really weren't talking about these other things because she's just all happy-go-lucky that the one in the middle wasn't showing up right there. But the other ones have grown. And so to me, if those have grown, his other little friends have grown because we're not looking at, because there were 6 of them there initially when we started this, but they were only watching 3 of them. And I said, if his stuff would have went away, then his vocal cord wouldn't be paralyzed because something's, pressing on there and it's a tumor. That's what I've always thought, but nobody will admit to it. Nobody can, anyway. No one understands why. Well, except someone told us, one of the doctors, well, the ENT, who, he's not a lung specialist, but he said something's pressing on it, and that's where, that tumor is, and that's what's causing that paralysis of his vocal cord, and that's why he has that raspy voice, and then he, runs out of air, and that's why he's always like, anyway, y'all heard him talk. It's much better than it used to be. Oh, it was really bad when he, because he had to learn how to talk better. and everything, because he used to have to talk like a girl, because your left vocal cord controls your low voice, and your right vocal cord controls your high voice. So since his left vocal cord was paralyzed, the only way that he could really talk was if he talked like a girl with his voice real high. So we went around for almost a month like that, and the dogs were like, oh my God, who is this person? So it was sad but kind of funny. And I just told him, I said, well, talk like a girl. And he's like, I'm not going to talk, because he wouldn't, really talk a lot because he was embarrassed and then didn't want, and I'm like, well, I'm sorry, I don't understand you and I can't hear you, because he would whisper. And I'm like, I can't hear you. You're going to have to talk. So, he'd have to, then he'd get all pissy. And so he'd be in his little pissy girl voice. And so, you can't help but laugh because it was just comical. But anyway, but the whole point is these things have grown, and then, his liver numbers have increased, and so I asked them, well, what number do we need to watch and everything, and she didn't want to talk about that. She was, because they only give you like 8 minutes, and got to go on to the next person, and they just, oh, everything's good, looks good to me. I'm waiting on the radiologist to call me back because I have questions. I want them to compare. I'm sorry, I thought that's what needed to be done in the first place, but she had the report on that Friday. She didn't even bother to look at it until 5 minutes before she came into that examining room, and then realized that, oops, she might have had a question. Well, you should have had your questions answered before the patients came into the room. I should have went to medical school. I'd have been one heck of a doctor, because I would give a poop. But anyway, so we managed to get out of there without her addressing the enlarged heart that they've noted on there, and these 3 liver numbers that all say high, that they said they were going to watch the last time, but never really said anything. So she's, out the door, and I'm like, wait a minute. And so we have to go, we see this trial nurse, which is the second one we've seen. Nobody knows anything. They're about as smart as this credit card is. Anyway, so she goes in there, and his drugs haven't been delivered yet, because, they have to make his pills and everything, and, he gets them every 7.5 weeks. And, so, we're in there waiting, for his drugs to be delivered. And, oh darn, I gotta trim some of this off. And the girl's like, well, is there anything else I can do? Anything I can help you with? And I said, yes. So I whip out our little report that we've been given. I said, I need to know what this enlarged heart means. And I said, and I need to know about these, the liver functions, the numbers on the liver function. She's like, oh, well, I'll have to get with the doctor on that. And I said, well, I need to know what number do we need to worry on the liver thing. I shouldn't have to go research everything myself. I'm there, I'm paying you, you're my specialist, and you need to be able to answer my questions. And she's like, oh, well, I don't know. I said, well, would you please go find out? Oh, I can do that. And I said, well, can you ask the doctor about this enlarged heart thing? And so she's like, well, I'll have to, and I'll get back to you. I said, oh, no. I said, we're not leaving until we get an answer on these. And I said, the doctor just walked that way, because, the door was cracked open, we could see. And so she went out there, and she comes back, and she tells us, oh, well, she says that we're not going to worry. We don't need to worry until it reaches 2.5, which was at 2.2. So, I'm sorry, it was at 1.7. So it's, once again, it has increased just like the tumors. But we're not going to worry. We don't want to worry until it's too late. I mean, I want to worry before too late, because I'm a planner. I need to have a plan. But no, they don't. So, page 21. So she comes, and tells me that number, and I'm like, well, what about the enlarged heart thing? Oh, and I've obviously folded this wrong. Or okay. Anyway, I got to go back and look at my little instructions. So, she comes back and says, oh, well, she's going to order the ultrasound of the heart so we can make sure nothing's wrong in there. And and then we're not going to worry about the liver thing until it gets to 2.5, and then she'll order a test on that. Well, I'm sorry, if 2.5 is the danger zone, then why do we have to wait until we're in the danger zone? Because once you get to a certain point, you can't fix something. That's how I see it. So, you know, I left there just in complete, as usual, well, like every other, seems to be every other 7 weeks that we have. We get, you know, because we do the roller coaster thing. I understand cancer is a this thing, and I understand his cancer is a this thing, but somebody needs to make this a little more understandable and a little more explanation and a little more bedside manner type stuff instead of their little attitudes that you get because, you know, you're freaking out when you get continually get this news and nobody knows what the heck they're talking about. And I got to go look at my little stem because number 5 is supposed to be a pocket thing, and I don't have one on here. So obviously I did something wrong, and I have to make a pocket. Okay, but so anyway, I know. See, I just sidetrack stories, but so you know, we left there with our paper in hand so we can come home and research, waiting for this heart ultrasound to be done, which he went. They got him right in, got that done on Thursday. Well, you know, he calls Friday to ask them what's the status, where are we going to find, you know, when will we have results or whatever. And they're like, oh, well, the doctor's off on Friday, because, you know, all the specialists are off on Fridays. Even every specialist that's involved in his stuff, they're not in their office on Fridays. You know, I wish cancer would stop on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then just pick back up on Monday like everybody else does. So, but, you know, that's just me, the crazy wife, speaking. But anyway, yep, on top of there. So, you know, Monday I call him at lunch, and I'm like, well, did you find out? And he's like, no, I hadn't found out. But, you know, the doctor did call back, Friday morning, and well, the nurse called back Friday morning and said that they got I got to back this because I make a pocket on there. They got the revised radiologist thing for the CT scan, and it's a 3-page addendum. If you'd like to come by and pick it up, you're more than welcome to come by, pick it up, and read it. Hello? That's your job, is to read it and let us know what the heck is on there. So John had to go pick it up because, you know, she said, well, the doctor just wrote on there, no change, same. Hello? So the first report you got is kind of accurate, but not really accurate because whatever. So yeah. So, you know, we get our stupid little thing. Well, you know, they have new words and stuff in there that we don't even know what it is. So we have to research these words and stuff that they put in there for all that stuff. And they didn't even, you know, request to look at the heart to see what the heck was different in the heart this time than last time, because she was just worried about the tumor thing. I'm sorry, I'm worried about the heart thing too. But so they use these words, and basically when we look up this word, starts with a C, I can't remember what the heck it is, that the cancer cells are starting to merge with each other, and if it merges together, it means that the drugs are not working, and if it gets to 30%, then treatment will be stopped. So I don't know. So it took me, you know, a while to be able to even talk. I couldn't even text it hardly without, just tears would come down my face, because I know we're on the bad news train again, and you just wait for, you know, sorry, we can't do this trial drug anymore, and I mean, we you know, they tell you up front that it's a 5-year prognosis for his type of cancer, and we're at 5 years. you know, but you're supposed to hope and pray. And I understand that we've been blessed and lucky because we have gotten the 5 years. But, and I get, you know, and everybody's thing is, we don't have a crystal ball, we can't tell you this and that, and blah, 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 blah. Well, I understand that, but y'all do this for a living, and you do see trends, and you do know stuff, because you are a doctor, and that's what you do for a living. And, you know, I don't want to wait till when we go there, and then they tell you, oh, well, you just got a couple of months. Well, you know, you could have told us that a few months ago, that we were getting to that thing, because see, John kind of like is in the denial thing, and I'm like, well, why don't we go do this or go do that, or just, you know, something. And I don't think he wants to go do anything, because then it's kind of like, in some weird way, giving in to that. But yet now all of a sudden he's doing his little spring cleaning, chicken nest and roosting stuff, which freaking me out. And I don't know. And then buying a fireplace so I can have something to snuggle, and I don't know. So, you know, and I hate to make this stuff about me, especially after, you know, all this other stuff. And then what made it even worse is this guy, I know I'm gone over, but I'm just going to go over, I'm sorry. This guy that he works with got diagnosed with esophageal cancer 6 months ago. Well, he passed away 2 Wednesdays ago, and he didn't bother to tell me until Friday. So this poor man only made it 6 months, and, you know, left. He has a handicapped wife and everything, and so I was just a bucket case. And it just, I don't know, it takes me a while to get over all that. All right, so we're going to leave it at this, and then I will go back and revisit my other papers, because I do now remember that I forgot to fold this over to make the pocket, but I just knew I could make a pocket, so I'm doing that. But I need to line it behind it, and then I will come back, since I've just got all down the road and back. So anyway, just, you know, we know you pray for us, for John, and that's the only thing that's getting him through it. So, but I will be back, and like I said, I just kind of wanted to tell y'all why I was just a little bit woo-woo. And anyway, so I will talk to y'all later. Oh, I'm hoping that wasn't in the way the whole time. Okay, good, maybe not. So thanks for watching. Thanks for sharing some of your day with me. And I will try to make a little more sense out of this, because I think I might have lost you again. But I hope you understood that. Anyway, I think I might have. I'm sorry. And if I did, just comment and say that this is just crazy. Start from start to the end. But this is kind of how my mind works when I see pages and junk to put into these things. All right, so thanks for your day with me. Thanks for all your love and support. I will see y'all later. So lots of kisses, lots of love, and have a great day, blessed day, and we'll get back to this on the next one. Bye, guys.